Since childhood, my parents and friends have thought that I was intelligent and naturally smart. This is mainly because when I was younger, instead of going and playing outside with my friends, I used to always do puzzles at home. Now, my parents were kind of wondering why is this child just staying at home doing puzzles instead of going outside and playing basketball? This is because I found something very perceiving inside puzzles, which made my parents think that I was a unique child.
My parents always told me that I was the smartest of the kids in my family, so that always put a lot of pressure on me because they always expected me to achieve greatness, and without A's, that wasn't good enough. So my whole life, I always strove just to get the highest GPA and be the best that I can be so that I can live up to their expectations. And not only my parents, but my friends also who saw me in school, they just expected perfection from me, and that's what's caused me to be a perfectionist. And when I don't perform well, I get really upset because of that.
It was a psychological phenomenon in which an individual lacks faith in their own personal successes and believes they could be exposed as a fraud. To me, imposter syndrome affects me because I feel like I have to do everything myself. And if I ask for help, that's me admitting defeat, that I can't do everything on my own. It's a big hindrance to my success because it doesn't allow me to seek the assistance I need to be as successful as possible.
So in order to deal with imposter syndrome, what I started doing was I started acknowledging the thoughts that I had that caused my imposter syndrome, what caused me to doubt myself. And then once I started acknowledging those thoughts, I wanted to understand why I had them. So that's when I thought about, what other people thought about me, what my parents said about me, how I was raised. And so when you're expected to do, well and be perfect by other people, you'll change your thoughts in that manner. And so when I started understanding why I did it, I started changing the way I think. So I started thinking about how it's okay to get help from others. It's okay to be not perfect. And so when I started thinking about that, I started dealing with the imposter syndrome, and I started having a better mindset when I did my work and my homework and took tests. And I started to doubt myself a lot less, and that helped me deal with imposter syndrome.
All right. Okay, so I overcame imposter syndrome by the first thing I did was stop comparing myself to others. That was the hardest part for me because in high school I always asked other people what they did on a test immediately, but I never realized until now that it doesn't really matter how other people perform on the test as long as you're comfortable with how you did and you work extra hard to make sure that you did the best you could, because that's really, in the end, that's all you can do is your best. And yeah, but the other thing that was really important for overcoming imposter syndrome was I learned about this thing called the growth mindset, where I see a lot of people coming into college believing that they can only learn so much and that their brains are limited compared to other people. But a lot of science and data has shown that that's not really true, and it's just practice and dedication that will help you succeed.